came here today just to tell the truth. So hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
Get ready, because Big Meech just dropped a bombshell that could shake the hip-hop world to its core. Picture this. A legendary figure, newly released after nearly 2 decades behind bars, steps back into the spotlight with a revelation that threatens to rewrite the legacy of one of music's biggest icons. Yes, you heard that right. Demetrius Big Meech Flenory, the mastermind behind the infamous Black Mafia family, isn't just settling into freedom. He's ready to spill secrets. And these aren't just rumors. We're talking about allegations that could forever change how we see Diddy, his empire, and the people who helped build it.
He was convicted of running a huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison.
To understand just how explosive these claims are, we need to dive into the complex and scandalous web of relationships, money, and power that has surrounded Diddy for years, starting with Anthony Wolf Jones. Known to anyone familiar with Diddy's career, Wolf wasn't just a bodyguard. He was Diddy's right-hand man, protector, and confidant. In the cutthroat world of hip-hop, where threats come from all sides, someone like Wolf was invaluable. But he wasn't just muscle. Wolf was instrumental in building Diddy's career. He believed deeply in Diddy's vision for Bad Boy Records, reportedly lending him around $300,000 in the early 90s, when hip-hop was booming and Diddy was finding his footing. This wasn't just a loan, it was a lifeline that gave Diddy the credibility he needed to recruit talent, secure deals, and transform Bad Boy Records into a powerhouse. In many ways, Wolf was a foundational figure in the empire Diddy has ruled for decades.
And then in 2003, Wolf gets during a situation with BMF,
right?
Which he ended up shooting first, and they returned fire. I was actually with I actually ended up being flown out by BMF like right around that time, and I was at Big Meech's house while he still had the ankle monitor.
But as we all know, power and loyalty can be a dangerous mix, especially in a world where everyone's trying to climb to the top. This is where things started to get messy. Enter Big Meech, the notorious head of the Black Mafia family, one of the most powerful underground organizations in the country. Meech's influence stretched coast to coast, with connections that ran deep into the hip-hop world. It's right here, at the intersection of Meech's empire and Diddy's rise to fame, that cracks began to show in Diddy's loyalty to Wolf. Wolf and Meech didn't exactly see eye to eye. In fact, as Meech's status grew, Wolf began feeling like he was being edged out, as though Meech was taking his place in Diddy's inner circle. And let's face it, when you've been someone's trusted confidant for years, watching the new player cozy up to your boss is bound to sting. The tension between Wolf and Meech didn't just simmer, it boiled over.
Well, Misa was, young, drop-dead gorgeous. She was trying to make her way into business.
The breaking point came in 2003. Picture this, a swanky nightclub, the kind of place where hip-hop's elite mingled with underground power players. What should have been just another night of partying turned personal for Wolf. He saw a woman, someone he had history with, getting a little too close to Big Meech. For most, this might have been a minor annoyance, but for Wolf, whose pride and reputation were paramount, it felt like a direct insult. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, and in moments, a simple disagreement escalated far beyond control. Wolf, leaning against his car, wasn't just angry, he was humiliated. And in the world of hip-hop, where respect is everything, humiliation is intolerable. What began as an argument soon turned physical, with devastating consequences.
I'm listening to all this right there, but Wolf don't care. He said, them ain't like that, I'm telling you. He ain't like that. You understand? Papa was talking about, I don't need you no more. I don't need you no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
In the aftermath, Wolf was gone, and Big Meech found himself in the crosshairs of law enforcement. The media went wild. framing the story as a clash of titans, two larger-than-life figures whose egos had spiraled out of control. But to those in the know, this wasn't just a random nightclub scuffle. It was the culmination of years of tension, loyalty, and betrayal. Wolf had been Diddy's guy, the one who stood by him through thick and thin. Yet, as Diddy's connection to Big Meech grew, Wolf found himself feeling like an outsider in the very world he had helped to build. Now, with Big Meech freshly released from prison, old rumors surrounding Wolf's demise are resurfacing, along with a whole new set of accusations aimed directly at Diddy. This time, Meech isn't just talking about nightclub altercations or business deals. His claims are personal, threatening to strike Diddy where it hurts most: his family.
Do you think that Diddy is actually Justin's father? I wasn't there, but...
Rumors are swirling that Meech is suggesting one of Diddy's sons might not actually be his biological child. This kind of revelation could send shockwaves through the music industry. Diddy has long built his public image around being a devoted father and family man, carefully balancing his massive empire with his responsibilities at home. But if Meech's claims are true, that image could shatter. And this isn't just idle gossip. Meech has been around long enough to know where the secrets are buried, so to speak. If he's coming forward with these allegations now, after years of silence, there's a reason. He's got something to say, and he's not holding back.
Says that he had his son bring girls over to the parties, usually underage girls.
Let's not forget about Wolf. His demise left a massive void in Diddy's life, both personally and professionally. Wolf had been more than just a bodyguard. He was a crucial part of Diddy's success, helping to shape the empire we see today. So when Wolf was removed from the picture, it wasn't just a loss of protection. It was the loss of a key player in Diddy's rise to the top. Yet despite this, Diddy managed to keep his empire intact. He continued to release hit records, sign major deals, and expand his influence. However, the shadow of Wolf's demise has always loomed large over his legacy. And now, with Big Meech back on the scene and making these explosive claims, that shadow is only growing darker.
Meech ain't want to do nothing to him because Meech had enough people and he had enough crew outside that he could handle that stuff. But the dude who got close to Wolf was the dude who put them, that he put down with BMF. It was his dude from Brooklyn that he put down because he needed some money. He was a shooter.
The timing of Meech's release couldn't be more perfect. Diddy, who has managed to stay relatively unscathed by the various controversies surrounding him over the years, is now facing a new wave of scrutiny. And this time, it's not just about his business dealings or his public persona. It's about the people closest to him, the ones who helped him build his empire from the ground up. Wolf's demise was a turning point for Diddy, both professionally and personally. It forced him to confront the darker side of the world he had built, a world where loyalty could shift in an instant, and those you trusted the most could turn into your fiercest rivals. Now, with Big Meech out of prison and speaking up, those old wounds are being reopened in a very public way.
Puff beat up till she got up under the... Beat up literally till she tried to run up under the car. Wow.
Meech's accusations go beyond Diddy's personal life. They also raise serious questions about the very foundation of his empire. If Wolf was such a key figure in the creation of Bad Boy Records, and if his demise stemmed from tensions with Big Meech, what does that say about the empire Diddy has built? Could it be that the very foundation of Bad Boy Records was constructed on shaky ground, with rivalries and betrayals lurking just beneath the surface? These are the kinds of questions fans and industry insiders are starting to ask. As more details about Wolf's death and Meech's involvement emerge, it's becoming clear that Diddy's legacy might not be as untarnished as he's led us to believe. Of course, Diddy has always been a master of reinvention, weathering scandal after scandal and emerging on top. But this time feels different. With Big Meech back in the spotlight and making bold claims, it seems the past is finally catching up to Diddy in a way it never has before.
Now, Misa went into full mama bear mode and tore Diddy up on the internet, claiming that Diddy's act bad lifestyle is leading their son down the...
And let's not forget about the FBI. Wolf's demise wasn't just a personal tragedy for Diddy. It also attracted a lot of unwanted attention from law enforcement. While Diddy has never been directly implicated in any wrongdoing related to Wolf's death, the fact that one of his closest associates was involved in such a high-profile incident has always cast a shadow over his career. Now, with Big Meech back in the picture and stirring up old controversies, that shadow is only growing larger. As the FBI continues to investigate the events surrounding Wolf's demise, it's entirely possible that new information could come to light, potentially changing the way we view Diddy and his role in the hip-hop world.
How your son look like your best friend? If he like it, I love it.
For now, all we can do is wait and see what happens next. Big Meech has promised that he's got more to reveal, and if what he's already shared is any indication, we're in for a wild ride. Diddy's empire may have survived scandals in the past, but this time, it feels like the stakes are higher than ever. With Wolf's demise still looming over everything, there's no telling just how far Meech's revelations could go. Of course, this isn't just about Diddy. It's about the entire world of hip-hop, where power, money, and loyalty intersect in ways that are both thrilling and dangerous. As Meech steps back into the spotlight, he's pulling back the curtain on a world that most of us only see from the outside. A world where friendships can quickly turn into rivalries, and where the line between business and personal loyalty is often blurred beyond recognition.
His mind was like always on 1,000, like always. And it's good in a lot of ways, but then, it's always a price to pay. I don't care.
And that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about one man's downfall or a single shocking revelation. It's about the complex, often messy relationships that have shaped the hip-hop world for decades. As Big Meech continues to speak out, it's becoming clear that we're only scratching the surface of what really went down between him, Diddy, and Wolf. So what does the future hold? Will Diddy weather this storm like he's done with so many others? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's biggest icons? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, now that Big Meech is back in the game, the truth is finally starting to surface, and it's about to shake the hip-hop world to its core.
Misa claims she's not protecting Diddy anymore. She didn't go into detail on what she meant, but she vowed to protect all of Diddy's children from his karma.
And that's where we leave off with the first part of the story. But don't go anywhere. There's so much more to uncover, especially when it comes to Diddy's family life. The story doesn't end with Big Meech's explosive claims or the tragic loss of Anthony Wolf Jones. In fact, that's just the tip of the iceberg. As we dig deeper into the web of Diddy's complicated life, his family becomes an essential part of the narrative. And one woman in particular seems to be at the heart of it all, Misa Hilton. If you've been following Diddy's career, you already know who Misa is. She's the mother of Diddy's first son, Justin Combs, and a powerhouse in her own right. Misa isn't just another figure in Diddy's love life. She's a legend in the fashion world, with a career that helped shape the style of hip-hop in the 90s and beyond. But beyond the glamorous photo shoots and high-profile clients, there's a complex and often tumultuous relationship with Diddy, one that has seen its fair share of twists and turns.
Well, listen, when you're working, this guy worked for Diddy, worked with Diddy, for Diddy.
Yeah, he was his a producer.
It all began in the early 90s, long before Diddy became the global icon we know today. Back then, he was still hustling, working his way up from an intern at Uptown Records to becoming the powerhouse behind Bad Boy Records. And right there beside him was Misa. They were young, ambitious, and, according to Misa herself, they had big dreams. In an interview, she once said that she always knew Diddy was destined for greatness, even when they were scraping together enough money for pizzas and subway rides. That's the kind of belief Misa had in him from the start. But despite sharing a vision for success, their relationship was far from perfect. By the time their son Justin was born in 1993, things between them had already begun to unravel. Diddy's career was taking off, and with his rise came a lifestyle that, according to Misa, wasn't exactly suited for settling down. They eventually went their separate ways, but Misa and Diddy maintained a connection because of their son Justin, a connection that has been both a source of support and tension over the years.
Yo, he put hands on her. To the point where is that nobody...
Misa's influence on Diddy's career cannot be overstated. While raising Justin, she was also building a career that would help define the image of hip-hop as we know it today. If you've ever seen the iconic looks of Lil' Kim, Mary J. Blige, or Jodeci from that era, you've witnessed Misa's work. She was the mastermind behind the fusion of streetwear and high fashion that became a hallmark of the genre. It's no exaggeration to say that her styling helped shape the image of the artists who were setting trends in music. But despite her success, Misa's relationship with Diddy was always complicated. They shared a son, a history, and a deep understanding of the industry, but that didn't prevent tensions from flaring up, especially when it came to Diddy's other relationships and the growing empire he was building. Over the years, Misa has been vocal about the challenges of co-parenting with someone as high-profile as Diddy, and those challenges only intensified as more personal and legal issues mounted around him.
I'm like, he's the oddball. And I know they got different moms, so I get it. But I'm like, I don't know about that.
One of the most shocking moments came in June 2023, when their son Justin was arrested for driving under the influence, making headlines not just because he's Diddy's son, but due to Misa's reaction. Instead of staying silent, she took to social media and seemingly placed the blame on Diddy, suggesting that his lifestyle and influence had negatively impacted their son. In a series of cryptic posts, she quoted the saying, "A fish rots from the head down," which many saw as a direct shot at Diddy's role in Justin's struggles. This wasn't the first time Misa had spoken out, but the timing and tone of her posts signaled that she was done protecting him, especially as she called out Diddy's business dealings, particularly in the spirits industry, and questioned why he wasn't building something healthier. It felt like Misa was airing years of frustration, not just about Justin's arrest, but about Diddy's entire approach to life and business. Things escalated in March 2024 when Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security as part of an investigation into allegations surrounding his personal and professional life. Caught up in the middle were Justin and his younger brother Christian, both of whom were handcuffed during the raid. Though neither was arrested, the image of Diddy's sons being led away in cuffs sent shockwaves through the industry.
The U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male sex workers across state lines to take part in recorded sexual performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. David Willis reports.
Misa once again refused to stay silent, posting security footage from the raid that showed armed agents storming Diddy's home and detaining her sons. In her post, she criticized the agents for what she saw as an overuse of force, stating that if her sons hadn't been black, they wouldn't have been treated with such aggression. She hired a lawyer to investigate and made it clear that she wasn't backing down. "Enough is enough," she wrote, questioning whether Justin needed several lasers pointed at his chest and if Christian needed a gun pointed at his head while handcuffed. For Misa, this wasn't just about the raid. It was about a pattern of behavior she had seen for years. In her eyes, Diddy's lifestyle and the choices he had made were finally catching up to him, and now their sons were paying the price. Furious, Misa wasn't afraid to let the world know exactly how she felt.
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the shoot have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest.
It wasn't just Misa speaking out during this time. Big Meech, freshly released from prison, was also making waves with his own explosive claims about Diddy's family life. According to Meech, there were questions about whether Justin was even Diddy's biological son. This kind of rumor has the potential to set the internet ablaze, and that's exactly what happened. Speculation ran wild as people tried to figure out if Meech was revealing the truth or just stirring the pot to settle old scores. Of course, Diddy has never publicly addressed these accusations, and it's unlikely that he will, but the mere fact that such rumors are circulating has added another layer of intrigue to an already chaotic situation. For someone like Diddy, whose public image has always been carefully managed, these kinds of personal attacks can be incredibly damaging.
Diddy's mom has finally spoken out amidst everything that is happening right now. Janice Small Combs provided a statement to some outlets via her attorney, So she starts off by saying it's very heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies.
So what does all of this mean for Diddy's legacy? It's clear that the pressure is mounting. Between the legal battles, the raids, and the personal accusations, Diddy is facing a level of scrutiny he hasn't experienced before. While he's weathered storms in the past, this time feels different. It's no longer just about business, it's about family. And when your own family begins to turn against you, controlling the narrative becomes a lot more difficult. But Diddy isn't the only one caught in the middle of this storm. His sons, Justin and Christian, are feeling the heat too. Justin, in particular, has had a rough couple of years, from his DUI arrest to the fallout from the raid. He's found himself in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, and though he's tried to keep a low profile, it's clear that the ongoing drama surrounding his father is affecting him in ways that are hard to ignore.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
Christian, on the other hand, has taken a different approach. Known for his striking resemblance to Diddy and his budding career as a rapper, Christian has embraced the spotlight. However, even he can't escape the shadow of his father's controversies. When footage of him partying surfaced shortly after Diddy's latest legal troubles, fans were quick to criticize him for not taking the situation seriously. One commenter even said, "Feeding women drinks on live while your father is accused of being a drink-feeding predator? Not a good look. Ouch." Then there's Misa. As Justin's mother, she's had to watch her son get caught up in Diddy's drama time and time again, and it's clearly taken a toll on her. In a recent interview, Misa opened up about the difficulties of raising a child in the spotlight, especially when the father is as high-profile and controversial as Diddy. She discussed the pressure Justin has faced and how hard it's been to shield him from the negative aspects of fame. Now, Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, has also spoken out amidst the chaos. Through her attorney, she issued a statement expressing how heartbreaking it is to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies. Misa has always been fiercely protective of Justin, and while she's no stranger to the public scrutiny that comes with being tied to Diddy, it seems this latest round of drama has pushed her to a breaking point. She's no longer willing to stay silent and has made it clear that her priority is Justin's well-being, even if that means going up against Diddy in a very public way. But Misa isn't just speaking out for herself. She's also thinking about the other women in Diddy's life, particularly Kim Porter, the mother of his other children, who tragically passed away in 2018. In one of her posts, Misa highlighted how difficult it's been for Kim's children to navigate life without their mother and stressed the importance of supporting them. It was a subtle but powerful reminder that Diddy's actions don't just affect him, they affect his entire family.
Diddy will be sued. And I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days. So
one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. There are still many unanswered questions, and as more details emerge, it's clear that Diddy's world is about to get a whole lot messier. Will he be able to navigate the storm and rise above it once again, or is this the beginning of the end for one of hip-hop's most iconic figures? Let us know what you think about this complicated and wild story in the comments. Until next time, stay curious.